Hi guys, my name is Carissa. This is the Fat Girl Flow channel, and today we are going to be talking about everybody's favorite topic. Very joyous. Divorce. This is going to be kind of like a Q&A style video. I decided to do this because, so I was married, and a lot of you who have been with the channel for a very long time know that, and a lot of you saw my we're no longer together video, and I really never gave a lot of context. I have not talked about getting divorced very much, and I know that y'all get invested in the people in my life and in me and my feelings, and I feel far enough out from it now that I feel like I can talk about it without getting too emotional. I will still get emotional, of course, but I feel like now is a good time to chat about it. So we're gonna do that. I let everyone over on Instagram ask me questions via stories. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's at Fat Girl Flow. Go follow me. You can interact with lots of my stories, and you can ask me questions about things like divorce. How fun for you. Today's video is sponsored by the incredible people at Ana Luisa. They provided this necklace, a beautiful bracelet for me, and this gorgeous necklace, which I haven't even taken out of the packaging yet. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them because they really are an incredible company making jewelry that is super affordable and super sustainable. Their mission is to be 100% carbon neutral. They offset 100% of their carbon emissions, and their pieces start at only $39. This little blue piece is actually a locket. I haven't got a picture in it yet, but I think I'm gonna put a picture of my niece and nephew in there just because lockets are something that I kind of forgot existed, and this one's so modern and chic. It doesn't look like an old lady locket, which I love. Also, this bracelet, which I love this chain link kind of look. They did send an extender with it, and it fits without the extender, but their extenders are perfect for anyone who has chubby little arms like I do, and they're really easy to put on. They're also really strong. I've been wearing this bracelet for several days, and I have a couple necklaces from them from a previous video that I have extenders on, and I'm always worried that extenders are gonna I don't know, not be as strong as the piece itself, but these are really strong. They stay on. You don't have any problem with them snapping off or anything. So for plus size babes that are looking for extenders and something to help their jewelry fit like they really want it to, that's a plus. One of my favorite things to do with their sweet little dainty pieces is wear several of them. I also have this really cool chain from them from the last video that has a little piece that says BU in it. It would be beautiful stacked with another necklace. They do sell some necklace stacks like this one that I got, and it has several chains and pieces. I just think they're the most beautiful way to accessorize whatever you're wearing. If you've been watching my channel very long, you also know that I have wildly sensitive skin. In fact, I just scratched myself on my neck, and you might see it turn red in a second. The Ana Luisa pieces do not irritate my skin at all. I can wear these pieces overnight. I can forget to take them off. I don't ever have to worry about whether or not they're going to make my skin flare up, which is really nice. Ana Luisa is having a giant Black Friday sale, and you can shop it at analuisa.com/fatgirlbf. If you snag any pieces from there, I would love to see them, hear about them. Tag me on Instagram, tag me in the comments below. I want to know what you bought. Okay, on to divorce. Wow, that's a sad transition. If you don't know, when I first started this channel, I was actually engaged, I believe. I was engaged to a person named Nat. I'm just gonna dive right into questions because I think that's the easiest way to do this. And yeah, I think you'll just learn more about what happened and get some context for what that breakup looked like along the way. So the first question is, how long were you married? I was married for about 2 years, and I think that we were together for about 4 years. We got married 10/10/2015. Yeah. And we were together for, I think maybe over 2 years, right around 2 years, 2.5 years. I'm not sure. I got a lot of questions about how it makes Jay feel to talk about my previous relationship. There are a couple things about this. First of all, Jay and I got together on the tail end of me getting divorced or being separated. Through all of this, I think that Jay has known like this was something that they were going to have to journey with me, you know? A lot of the questions I got were just about me and Nat in general, if we're still in contact, if we're still friends, if we feel okay about each other now. Yes, we are still in contact. We talk as friends. I wouldn't say frequently, but I know about the big stuff going on in Nat's life, and they know about the big stuff going on in my life. We have had some really good conversations, some really healing conversations. I feel like I married Nat because Nat was my best friend. Nat was also the first like clearly queer relationship I was in. We both really didn't like adhere to gender norms or anything like that, and so I feel like because of that, they became like my best friend and family very, very quickly. The thing is, you can't learn something, you can't like learn a lesson until you've learned it, right? That sounds so silly, but like you can't know something until you learn it. And I think when I married Nat, I really had a lot of relationships that were not love, that I thought were love. And so when Nat and I got together and Nat respected me as a human being, and I enjoyed Nat, and we loved each other, and we had the same values, I think that felt like love to me. In the end, I think what Nat and I had, and what we always had, was intense respect and friendship for each other. We conflated that with like the kind of passionate love that if that's what you're looking for, that's what you deserve. And now that I am with Jay, I know what that kind of like fiery heart kind of love feels like. And now looking back, I realize that I did not have that with Nat. What I had with Nat was very different, but equally as important to my life and who I was, and I did love them very, very much. It just was in a way that was different from what I want to be married to, if that makes sense. Someone asked, after divorce, how do you feel about marriage now? Gun shy. I feel nervous. I got another question where someone asked, thoughts on a partner who doesn't want to get married because of a bad divorce. People who have been divorced put their entire family, their entire friendship circle through something so intense. For me, like my niece and Nat were incredibly close. They were best buds. And like when we got divorced, that ended for my niece. And that's just, it's sad and it's terrible. And my parents loved Nat and I loved Nat's family. And that intertwining of two families is a really big deal. It is not something that is like just very casual. You get married in front of your whole family and you say, this is my person. Please accept this person into our family forever. Please think of this person as your own son, daughter, child, and love them like you love me. And then you say, never mind. It's embarrassing and it makes you feel ashamed. And it is a bigger feeling and emotion than anyone can ever like express. It's big. It's really big. So I am nervous about getting married again. excited. I love Jay to bits and pieces, but I think we will wait a little bit longer. I need time for it. And I think that if you have a partner who is nervous about getting married because they've been divorced, just give them time. So much time. It's not something just you go through. You bring your whole family through it. You bring all your friends through it. It is life shattering. So of course people will be nervous about getting married again. Someone asked, how did you know the relationship was over? When did you realize it wasn't working? Probably about a year into our relationship, Nat and I decided that it was okay for us to seek relationships outside of our relationship. I believe that I am a person who needs a lot of connection in my life. My best friend and I share as much intimacy as Jay and I do. Not like physically, but we are very close. We talk every single day for hours a day. They are one of my life partners. I love her dearly. My family and I are very close. I am a person who really, like, my people are the most important thing in my life. It didn't surprise me when a year into our relationship, I was kind of feeling like I needed more connection romantically. But I realize now that that's not something I need at this point in my life. If I have a romantic connection that's doing it for me. Like I don't want to see other people when I'm with Jay. And when we were married, Nat and I were having romantic relationships with other people. I don't think it was something that Nat ever did. I'm not sure, honestly. We didn't really talk too much about it. We were just like, okay, it's okay for us to find that connection outside of our relationship. I think that when I realized that Nat, and this is not a failing on Nat's part, this is just where Nat was like in their life. Neither of us were there, you know? And it's not like I just like suddenly realized we were gonna get divorced. I just kind of like started to see what we really were, and that was not two people who were madly in love. I feel like Nat and I spent the last year of our marriage separating, and yes, I saw it coming, and we spent a lot of time kind of saying, these are the things we need to work on. If we're not working on them, this isn't gonna work, and both of us going, I'm not working on them. We both were kind of like, yeah, I don't really wanna work on that, so. And when you do that, when you don't want to work on a relationship, when you don't wanna work on yourself in a relationship, you're not gonna be together very long. So yes, I saw it coming. I think Nat saw it coming. The $1 million question, did I leave Nat for Jay? No. Actually, when Jay and I got together, I said, I'm married. So this is a person who comes along with my relationship that like you're about to be with a married person. So, and they're always gonna be number one. Over maybe 3 months, I realized that Nat and our relationship was not what I wanted it to be. And I came home from a visit with Jay, and I was just like, this isn't like how marriage is supposed to be. And I think it's time we like officially call it quits. I think that a lot of stuff is kind of blurry for me, but if I recall correctly, Nat was kind of like, okay. And Nat was like, can I keep living here? And I was like, yes, of course, you're my family. Jay moved in with Nat and I. We were really lucky at the time. We had a house that basically 2 bedrooms were over here, separated by a lot of space. And then there was a guest space over here. So Nat lived on one end of the house. I lived on the other. Jay moved in with us, and me, Nat, and Jay lived together for 7 months. And that was a really stupid decision. That was a bad decision. I think that it hurt me and Nat in a way that is hard to come back from. And all of this, I know that all of this sounds like, wow, Carissa, you're a real asshole. Like this is a terrible thing that you did to Nat. It's important for me to say that all of this was consensual. There was never a time in me and Nat's relationship where I didn't talk to Nat at length about all of these things. Like, Nat's gone through a lot since then. Nat has learned how to communicate so much better since then. And we're both just like different people. We're different people now, you know? So like if you ask Nat, I think Nat would say, like we didn't communicate well enough. And I don't think we communicated well enough. And it was just, we didn't treat each other how we should have. But all of these things were consensual. Never did I wasn't just like, I'm moving Jay into the house. It was like, we talked about it. Someone asked, would you have gotten married if you knew you would have been divorced? I don't know. I'm gonna start crying. Nat and I's wedding day is still one of the happiest days of my life. It was the most beautiful wedding with people who we loved, and we were celebrating each other and our love in a way that was like the most memorable, most wonderful thing. I don't think I would change that. I think that everything that came along with getting divorced was really hard. And also, Nat and I came out on the other side and we're friends and we still love each other. I don't think I would change it. I think I would still go through it. I'm a better person because of it. And that's hard to say because, God, it was painful. But I think I came out of it knowing a lot more about myself, which is important, I guess. Someone asked if I feel shame or worry or any emotions when I think about like having sex with Nat. No, I have had sex with a lot of people. Jay's not the only person I've ever had sex with. So no, I feel like we all have sex with tons of people before we have relationships, and that just is what it is. So no, I don't feel like shame or weird or anything about that, anything like that. Nat and I really didn't have sex like probably the last year of our relationship. I guess that should have been a flag maybe, but I feel like we were both working through our own stuff. We were going through a lot, each of us as individuals. That relationship made it possible for both of us to grow so much within the relationship. Unfortunately, we weren't growing together. Someone asked me, I'm engaged and I know he's not the one, but I can't bring myself to end it. Any advice? If you know, don't put yourself through that. I really can't express how painful the process of tearing apart a family is. Try to end it before you're too intertwined. This question says, there's research studies that cite divorce as life's biggest stress. Do you agree? Yes, it is the most stressful thing I've ever been through. As you guys can see, it still makes me very emotional. I am not by any means healed. We are, I believe, about 3 years out from my divorce, and I'm still not okay. It will be with me for a very long time. Y'all know me as someone who's very confident, someone self-assured, and out of everything in my life, getting divorced has been the thing that has like rocked me the most. Absolutely. It's been the most painful, most stressful thing that I've ever done. And I want to be clear, parting ways, having to figure out your bills and do all that stuff, that was not the difficult part at all. I didn't think any of that part was wildly hard. It wasn't easy. It sucked, like talking about bills with someone you're not in a relationship with anymore and getting your names off of credit cards and all those things. It suck. It's really shitty. But the emotional trauma that you go through is much, much more intense. And I've been through some breakups. In my 20s, I lived with 2 people and had very serious breakups from them where we had to like, you know, move out and split our stuff and like all that kind of stuff. I am familiar with breakups. Divorce is different. This is not so much a question, but someone said 5 months out from a separation and experiencing a lot of guilt thinking of how I was not a good partner. I think this is the worst part, is that you can play in your head how you messed up over and over and over again. I wasn't good enough to Nat. That's how that's gonna be. I wasn't a good enough partner. Nat wasn't a good enough partner. It wasn't good enough. That's always going to exist. I think a lot of people think that you just have to try your hardest. You have to try. You have to keep trying and you have to be your best. And sometimes or somehow that will fix it and that will make it better. And the truth is that I think that sometimes the person you're with determines what your best is. I couldn't be my best with Nat. Nat couldn't be their best with me. I think that guilt around like not being the most perfect version of myself is something that is really hard for me, and is something that I've apologized to Nat for several times because, yeah, that guilt is real. I can look at Nat now and be like, I sucked. I'm so sorry. I see you as a human being who is whole and has their own thoughts and ideas and life goals. And when you were with me, I didn't see you in that same way. It's complicated, and at the end of the day, when you get divorced, it probably means that you weren't good enough and neither was the other person. And that is just something you live with. Last question is, how is the healing process going? Really good. I have an incredible support system, and I am allowed to talk about my feelings whenever I need to. Jay has seen me cry over the feelings I have around divorce many times. I am lucky now that also when I have certain feelings about it, I can talk to Nat and I can say, God, this thing has just been on my mind and I'm sorry, or we really fucked this one up, didn't we? Or what do you think about this experience we had? And that has been incredible. I think for a long time, Nat and I weren't talking much for the first year after we got divorced, and it really messed me up. I mean, like, not having this person in my life that is my family really was really hard. And now, now I can talk to Nat and I can say, hey, what'd you think about this? And we almost always both say, yeah, we weren't who we needed to be in those situations. Neither of us have romantic feelings for each other. I think we're both very aware that we were always meant to be best friends. We were always meant to be people helping each other grow. I think we were always meant to be an integral part of one another's journey, but not married. It's nice to be able to talk to them now, and the healing is going well. And we're about 3 years out from getting divorced, and I finally feel like I can talk about it. I mean, I still cry and stuff, but like, at least I can talk about it, you know? This video was kind of heavy, wasn't it? I didn't mean for it to be so real and heavy. I appreciate y'all being here with me, and I appreciate that like you're interested in my life and you care about these things and that you let me be transparent with you. That's important to me. Thank you, just thank you. Of course, thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. Remember that you can click the link in the description box down below and shop their entire Black Friday sale. You can get beautiful pieces like the ones I have. It is a rare brand who agrees to let me do a Q&A about something where I might cry in the video, and they're like, yeah, let us sponsor that. So thank you, big thank you to them, and thank you to all of you for watching. And of course, until next time, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you then. Bye.